Hi, I'm John, a travel expert in Latin America with Steps Travel. Within the last few days, I flew back to Bristol following a week in northern Italy. Not quite as thrilling perhaps as zip-lining past howler monkeys in Costa Rica or exploring ancient archaeological sites in Peru, but it was wonderful to be travelling again and experiencing a different country and culture. Flying is a little different now, as airports and airlines endeavour to make the process as safe as possible. Steps Travel is regularly asked about how the flight experience has changed during COVID, and so I thought it would be helpful to provide an insight and some guidelines based on my trip to help you prepare for your next travels. So first off, you need to be aware of country entrance requirements. You can expect to receive pre-flight guidance from your airline or tour operator to help with this. This is important. Some, mainly long-haul destinations, require you to show evidence of a negative COVID test on arrival. Italy requested that you complete and print in advance a particular form if you are going to use public transport, and another set of forms detailing where you are to stay. However, requirements are changing rapidly, and by the time I arrived clutching my studiously completed forms, they were no longer needed. Every traveller must complete an online UK Gov Traveller Locator form in order to be readmitted to the UK on your return. You can start this before departure, but the majority of the form may only be completed within 48 hours of returning to the UK. You can do this on a phone or tablet, or maybe ask assistance from your local host or hotel. You can print it or show UK Border Control the completed form on your device. When I returned to the UK, about 30% of travellers had not completed the form and were denied entry until they had gone online and done this. They were all corralled into a restricted area of arrivals that did not allow for distancing, and so please do not forget to do this. Next, make sure that you have a supply of masks. You will need to wear a mask throughout international travel from the moment you step into the UK terminal until leaving the airport at your destination. And so it's a good idea to do a little road testing beforehand to make sure your mask is comfortable and, if you wear glasses, does not steam these up. Most of you will already have experimented with masks given the current UK requirements. My beautiful bird print mask proved to be a triumph of style over practicality, and I ended up groping my way through airports in a misty haze. The airport process has not changed a great deal, just a few new health and distancing requirements. At Bristol Airport, you walk through a short tunnel where your temperature is remotely scanned before entering the terminal. Outside of the terminal is the first of many hand sanitising stations that are scattered throughout the airport. There are signs everywhere describing the distancing and personal conduct requirements, and floors are clearly marked with distancing bars and directional arrows similar to supermarkets. There are loads of airport staff managing the queues, the flow of travellers, and ensuring distance is maintained. Bristol Airport had closed all the self-service bag drop machines, and all hold luggage was manually processed. On the flight out, you are allowed one small piece of hand luggage that has to fit under the seat in front of you, and you are not allowed to use the overhead lockers. However, these were available on the flight home. You'll need to check the luggage allowance with your particular airline. The security process is the same, but it's airside and the departures area where changes are perhaps most noticeable. Around half of the shops were closed. Duty-free, newsagents and coffee shops were open, but most electrical goods and fashion shops were shut. Those that are open had strict rules regarding numbers of people let in at any one time. Don't rely on shopping for essential items at the airport. Come prepared. Make sure you buy guidebooks, camera, memory cards, chargers, etc. in advance. A limited number of food outlets are still open with distant seating and where you can remove your mask to eat and drink. The smoking area was still open, but with numbers strictly limited. The business lounge at Bristol Airport was closed. You'll need to check this, as it will depend on airport and airline. The whole Bristol experience and process was a little surreal, with everybody in masks, and it was the quietest I've ever seen the place. Low numbers of travellers and a very limited number of flights. The full departures board included the next day's flights as well. In fact, I would quite happily wear a mask if the airport was always that calm. Just one small clucking group of hen weekenders in pink tutus broke the spell. So boarding is the same. Slightly strange on board to have the safety brief given by stewards in masks and to look behind you at rows of masked faces, but soon becomes the new norm. Food trolleys still ply the aisles and you're allowed to remove your mask just to eat and drink. Main change is that you're not allowed to queue for the toilets. Our flight required you to ring the steward bell to let them know if you needed to go, and they managed access. So that's about it. You may have to remove your mask to show your face to immigration on arrival, and from my experience, there were very similar airport measures in place on arrival in Milan. The whole process worked, and the changes and travel experiences were, I feel, relatively minor. I think the most unsettling thing was the apprehension about what the process would be like, and, of course, the concern over whether health and safety protocols would be effectively in place. So I hope at least that my account has helped demystify the process and provided a few helpful tips. With just a little preparation and understanding of new COVID-19 requirements and processes, you can take the stress out of international travel and concentrate on looking forward to and enjoying your next holiday. The only thing to perhaps be concerned about is if your pilot announces mid-flight that he's working from home. Safe travels!